We're live, pal.
Yay, we're here. Exciting. Happy Sunday, everybody. How are you doing? This is, of course, we have the Hidden Gems team back together. I am film critic Rachel Wagner, and Ryan is here.
It's great to be back with you, Rachel. Good to see you. It's been a while.
I know. We're gonna be talking about a lot of things that are happening, and it's gonna be a little bit sad, maybe, but I think it's all gonna be for the best. And it's not. We're not saying goodbye. We're just changing things around a little bit. But
Yeah.
but anyway, we'll talk all about it. But how have you been? How was your May? Did you have a good May?
Yeah, I had a great birthday month.
Oh
I
yeah, your birthday.
did a lot of things with my friends to celebrate. One of my friends from my workout group, she actually threw me a bit of a get together with some
Oh,
other
nice,
friends of ours. We went and got sushi. It was amazing.
nice. Well, that's good. You getting ready for training for a race or something?
I'm training now. My 10K's in October. Uh,
Nice.
I'm going a little even crazier. I'm doing a half marathon in November. Thanksgiving weekend, actually. There's one in on the Space Coast of Florida, which is Cocoa Beach. It's rather famous, and so I decided, you know what? You only live once. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to do it.
That's gonna be awesome. Really cool.
I have this rather out there idea of like doing an Ironman one day, but that's way off in the distance. I really have to train for that.
Hmm.
But doing like a 5 or a 10K in every state in the U.S.
Oh,
And
cool.
believe me, there are tons of those out there. So it's not entirely impossible.
Hmm. Yeah, I signed up for the Bear Lake swim for next month, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Not
Yeah, and to get to go a little kind of staycation, get to go up there. And I stayed at this Beaver Creek lodge or something like that. Anyway, last year, and so I'm hoping I can get in there again this year because it was really nice. And so make a little. Sometimes I think like the little breaks are the most satisfying when you just
Yeah.
take like a little weekend and just there you don't have to do a whole lot. They're just refreshing. And then this weekend, I'm actually going to Christmas Con in Kansas, which is going to be fun.
that sounds like you're going to be in heaven for a
Yeah. Unfortunately, a bunch of the actors had to cancel because they're trying to get as much filming done now, and just the risk of that there might be an actor strike. So
yeah.
anyway, a bunch of the actors had to cancel, but it's still going to be fun. I'm excited. So make sure you're checking Hallmark's podcast because there's going to be a lot of good red carpet and other fun stuff going on at Christmas Con in June.
I believe we've got comments.
Yes, we do. And we have the super chat if anybody feels so inclined. We have Jeremiah. He says, yay, I've missed seeing you two together so much. Hi, guys. And Kate Cass says, hi, guys. Been a while since I've seen you both in a live stream. How are you both doing?
Doing good.
We're doing
Shout out
good.
Shout out to Jeremiah. He's been because the last Life in the Movies episode I did with my friend Jacob Martin, we did it live. It was the June 2023 preview, and Jeremiah was there. And
Nice.
I cracked a joke about the Flash and about how Michael Keaton's Batman was supposed to be, the suit was supposed to be so immobile that he turned like this, and his neck couldn't move, and yet in the Flash trailer he's doing parkour and stuff. And I said, I guess he's been doing DDP yoga for the past 40 years. That's why he's so limber.
He had maybe playing Birdman. Maybe he got
Oh, well, that's true too.
for that because he's in all those yoga poses in Birdman. Uh, anyway, yes. So we are grateful that people are watching. We had, as the title of this video live stream says, do you have an announcement? We are officially retiring Hidden Gems. And there's a bunch of reasons I'm going to explain why. I guess we should start out by saying, of course, this has nothing to do with like our relationship or any kind of issue or anything like that. Like we're great, we're friends.
Yeah.
And actually, that's part of the reason why I hung on to it as long as I did, because I really enjoy talking to you about anything, and so I didn't really want to give that up. But there's a couple reasons why I decided that I thought it was the right time. It doesn't mean that we're not going to collaborate on other future projects, and like I said, we're fine. I say that.
There's no drama.
No drama.
Like no one's gonna make a video essay on us. This was I can definitively say that Rachel's one of my best friends on this platform, and that has not changed. So I will admit I was a little sad when Rachel asked, but the only reason that is because this has been a part of my life for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, this will be like 3 weeks, and we somehow managed to squeeze this lemon for 3 years and change, which is just incredible.
I think we recommended almost 1,000 movies over the.
Wow. And we ran over some because there were bound to be like ones that we covered twice. It was inevitable, but yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was originally just going to be something with Disney Plus for a couple of weeks while we got through theaters being closed to the pandemic. Because originally when they announced theaters being closed, it was only going to be 2 weeks. And you had done the collaboration on the best films of the decade kind of thing. And I thought that you had something interesting to say. And so I had reached out to you, and you were kind enough to agree. And and then we just kept at it every week. Yeah.
And I can say on my channel, I think I started with like 73, 74 subscribers. I'm now at 375 or 357. I'm tripping over my words.
Over 300. That's awesome.
There you go. 357. And a lot of those are because of my appearances on here. So I owe a portion of my subscriber base to you. Yeah. So that has not been lost on me.
Oh, I love that. Well, part of the reason why I wanted to retire is because when I started Hidden Gems or had the idea for it, I was actually feeling really positive about streaming. I'm like, this is a great way that people will have access to catalogs of movies that they wouldn't have access to, and it's going to be a way to actually have more content, not less content. And so to do Hidden Gems would be a way for people, aside from just the weekly releases, they would be aware of these catalogs of films that were available on these streaming services. And we had a ton of fun with services like Canopy, Hoopla, things like that, that in and of themselves are hidden gems. So when I started, I felt really positive, like in the world of movies, that streaming was going to be a net positive. It was going to be a good thing to get movies out to the masses, was kind of my thoughts.
Well, that kind of went south.
Yeah. And that's part of the reason why I decided I wanted to make this change, because I've been feeling really discouraged about streaming services, particularly HBO Max and Disney Plus, them removing creators' work and not giving them any access to it at all. Is just really sad. Sometimes not even releasing it even once. And so what seemed like, it's going to be a great thing for filmmaking and going to get all these films in people's eyeballs that they wouldn't have otherwise seen. Now it feels like this way to manipulate content in a way that's worse than the Disney Vault ever was. Because at least that, you had a long period of time where people had the ability to buy the things, and you knew eventually it would be coming back. We don't have any such knowledge, with like Timmy Failure, which I absolutely love. It's just gone, and nobody will ever get to watch it probably again.
And combined with and I have no knowledge of what's going on with WGA strikes, so I'm not going to I'm not going to leap before I look on that one. But considering with that whole thing going on, and then Disney just being like, that never existed. It's not a good look. It's really not.
Yeah. Like I think it was the writer or maybe the director, I can't remember, of the Stargirl movies. Both of them, they're just gone. Like her work is just gone. And that just makes me really sad because that, especially that second Stargirl, was excellent and I really enjoyed it. And I so I was just feeling, it's everything with the Batgirl and the Scoob movie and people work so hard in the making these films and then these streaming services are just an excuse to just remove it from existence. That just doesn't seem right to me.
It's not right at all. I mean,
Yeah.
movies are hard. TV shows
Yeah.
are hard. And if you get them right, then they last forever. And if you're not, well then like negative reviews are kind of fun for me to film, but at the same time I'm kind of like, I mean, like they still
Yeah.
work really hard on that. So I mean, it's not fun. So
Yeah.
with that reasoning, I do completely understand. And I think I do want to say that that it just like the whole thing about physical media, I will always bang the drum for physical media, and it's not extinct. Like I work at the public library. DVDs get checked out constantly because people probably just don't have access to streaming. And we recommend Canopy and Hoopla and all these things, and they're great services. However, I do a lot of my series on my channel because I put in a reservation for a DVD copy of, like, say, I don't know, like the Grand Budapest Hotel, because I'm doing my Wes Anderson series right now. It's either in my library or in a day or two, it is at my desk. I take it home, I watch it, and I return. Now, Grand Budapest Hotel is on HBO Max or Max now.
Right. Oh, Max. Yeah.
So that is nice and all, but at the same time, there is no guarantee that it would be on there.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And I just felt more and more like this is not something that I really want to promote anymore. I guess I just soured on streaming. And I mean, I still use it every single day. I still see its value, but it's definitely gone from something that I was really optimistic about 3 years ago. And it definitely helped me get through the pandemic. So I'm grateful, but I just can't believe that they're just going to erase Timmy Failure from existence. It just makes me so sad because that was a great movie. And
but I would much rather like retire Hidden Gems like in a place where at least I'm still having fun with it.
Yeah, that's true too.
Fun with it, then just keep going and it just becomes a grind. Because I actually pitched an idea that we could do, but we'll definitely cross that bridge when we get there.
The other reason that I decided that I thought it was time to retire Hidden Gems was because I'd been doing a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule on my channel for a long time, and that worked very well. I had family movie night on Monday, and then I'd have whatever podcast was on Wednesday, and then Friday would be Hidden Gems usually. And then I decided to add Theater Tuesday. And it just became too crowded having something Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm going to have that this week, actually. This week I'll have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Wow.
And so I didn't feel like the Theater Tuesday really had a chance to kind of grow. And I felt like I needed at least one day for that. And so I thought, I really should start doing Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So then it became the question of, okay, what do I do for family movie night? And I thought, it makes the most sense to have family movie night on Saturday. And so that's what I'm starting doing this week. I'm going to have family movie night on Saturday. And then I'm going to have Theater Tuesday on Tuesday, and then whatever the podcast is on Thursday. So it's going to be changing, like I said, from Monday, Wednesday, Friday to a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And so that made what am I going to do with Hidden Gems? And so combined with the streaming feelings with the schedule in my channel, and I just really, since I'm actually a professional theater critic, It's become a huge part of my life. I really am excited about this Theater Tuesday series, the interviews I've done, doing some videos on, like, I did underrated Broadway musical video, and I was really happy about that and really proud of that. And that's something I'd like to do more of. So not just interviews, but also, edited videos for Theater Tuesday. And it's just something I'm really excited about. And I just felt like I really want to give that series as big a shot as it can have. So that was also part of my decision. So
Yeah, we got a lot of comments here.
yeah, we do. I knew there would be. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Jeremy says, you had a really good run. This was one of my favorite shows. I look forward to whatever collabs you do in the future. And needless to say, I'll continue to watch you both. So thank you so much, Jeremiah. I really appreciate it. All your support over the years. And I think we did have a really good run. 3 years is a long time on the internet to do anything.
Yeah, Jeremiah, you're a real one.
Yes. And Kate says, what? Got that many. I haven't checked in a while. That's awesome, Ryan. Congrats. Absolutely. Congrats.
Thank you. I'm shooting for 500, but I feel like sometimes I hit like a number and then I just I'm stuck there. So
I feel the same way. All right. And she said, there are many free streaming services with solid libraries than people realize. Absolutely. Like we said, with not only are there the library services, Hoopla, Canopy, but then there's also the free with ad services, your Tubi, your Pluto, and there was some really good stuff on those free with ads services. And we've said it many times, if you just had the free services, you would have more entertainment than you can work. And I do hope that some of these films that are being ditched by Disney and HBO and everybody everywhere else we'll see them eventually on some of these free services. They'll sort of sell them to Tubi or to Canopy or whatever, but we'll see. It's it's interesting because I always sort of wondered about the economic feasibility of particularly Netflix, and because they would spend so much money on these shows, $100 million on one movie or one show, and you think, how do you make money off of that? Because how do you that if somebody's just like a regular movie, you need like double, triple the sales, the ticket sales to cover the cost of a movie. Whereas here, you're just paying $15 for the whole month, and everybody can watch it, in your whole family, as opposed to a movie where you're going to pay ticket for every single person in your family to go see it.
Yeah, I know. I just saw Spider-Verse last night, and there were entire families, and I was overhearing the prices. And I'm like, well, this movie's not going to struggle to make 100 million. And it was actually today that it just announced they made like 120 million in its opening weekend, which good on that movie. Spider-Verse was fantastic.
Yeah, I agree.
But you can actually see the model working and being like, okay, we can see how this is happening. But with streaming, it's just like, no, you shut up. Like that was
like, how is this profitable? I've never understood it. But everybody was doing it and everybody wanted to do it. So it's like, well, it must be profitable. But I think finally has hit the fan, because it's just now they're making all these really horrible decisions about it.
The bubble has burst, if you will.
The bubble has burst, yeah. Jeremiah says, I'm sorry about Timmy failure, Rachel. Like I said, I really missed the Mysterious Benedict Society. It was charming and lovely, and it was helping get through rough times. Yeah, and they also got rid of Big Shot. They almost got rid of the Howard documentary, but there was enough kind of hoopla about that, which thankfully, so they didn't get rid of it. But it's just sad. So Kate says, I will always be angry about the erasure of Infinity Train off of HBO Max. One of the greatest shows I've ever seen that I have no trouble recommending to anyone. I can't anymore. It's just wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah.
Makes me sad.
Not a good look.
Yes. So then Jeremiah says, I have in on DVD, but I wish it was still streaming. Yeah. More. And Kate says, you're a librarian, Ryan. Me too. Well, I used to be until COVID happened, but that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I remember when like mid COVID time and I was doing the AFI project, I would like literally order things from the library and it would have to be like I was like extricating a hostage or something. It'd be like, please bring the movies out to the trunk, and I was because that's just how it was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now I'm working there.
I haven't been to our local library in so long. I need to go back.
Mm.
I don't think I've been since COVID, which is terrible. But I got used to reading on my phone, which is also terrible. But Jeremiah says, I'm really grateful for Hidden Gems as long as it lasted. Rachel, it brought me a lot of joy and it made my day more than once. And without it, I never would have become friendly with Ryan. Awesome. That means everything. It really
Mm.
does. I mean, because there never were episodes that got like tons and tons of views, but it doesn't. I've said this many times that it doesn't really matter. I mean, it sure would be nice to get tons and tons, but I'm more about the quality of those views. And Jeremiah has always been a quality view, that's for sure.
Hmm.
So. And Kate Cass says, shout out to your Schmigadoon interview with Broadway by Ghost Light. I admittedly still need to finish it, but Mark's a great guy, and I'm so excited you kind of want. And he's coming back, so you'll be very excited.
Ooh.
He's agreed to come back and do a Tony's recap that we're going to record after I get back from Christmas Con. So he and I really hit it off. I would probably, if I was in New York, I would go visit with him and meet up with him because I don't know, we just really clicked. And we had a great time talking Broadway shows and what he's doing at Schmigadoon and everything else. And so anyway, yeah, he's coming back to talk Tony's. All right. So I'm glad that you liked it. That makes me happy. Kate Cass says, yeah, I still don't really understand how streaming exclusive content makes money. It can't just be the new subscribers it brings in. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let's see here. Here we go. One thing you learn as a librarian, there's no bad way to read on a Kindle,
Yeah.
in a comic, even as an audiobook, as long as you consume a good story, it counts. Very true.
Oh, totally.
Very true. But I miss going to the library though. I just always forget.
The thing about my library, it's not just for checking out books anymore. We got like tons of programs like going on at one time. We bring people
That's
in
true.
to do like
Good
we
point.
do like lectures and other things. We got stuff for kids, which with the
Mhm.
summer ramping up, I mean that's going to be even more crucial.
Yeah. That's true. That's a good point. There are other stuff going on. So that's the big news that we wanted to share. Both that we'll be retiring Hidden Gems and that I'm going to be changing up to Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Most people probably don't care about that, but anyway, it's important to me. and so that will include Teen Movie Month. Will start this. I always do that in June, so that'll actually start on Saturday with She's the Man. There's only 4 weeks in June, so or there were 4 Mondays, so that's what I had planned. And anyway, so we're doing She's the Man, Blast from the Past, which I have gotten so many people saying how much they love that movie. I haven't seen it in years, so I'm really excited to give it another watch. I remember enjoying it.
That's the Brendan Fraser one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then Pitch Perfect, which is one of my all-time favorite comedies, and She's All That. So that will be Teen Movie Month this year. So should be fun. So let's see here. And then Jeremiah says that. So for you two, Kate Cash, I wish more people thought that way. Yeah,
About the books.
About the books, and I do listen to a lot of my books. And I haven't been able to as much lately because a lot of the books I read are for sponsors for a Hallmarkies podcast. and so they're not out on audiobook yet. But yeah, so. All right. Well, you can send us your questions. We'll ask it's just some fun movie questions to finish off the live stream. But like I said, you can send your super chats in if you definitely want to get your question answered. So first question, what was the last movie you watched and really enjoyed?
Well, I mean, if I'd be cheating, say into the Across the Spider-Verse,
yeah.
that movie was outstanding. But you know what? I will. That's an easy answer. Let me check my Letterboxd really quick.
What's the last movie you watched at home?
I watched at home. Okay.
That's maybe harder.
I actually, because as a part of a movie trivia league I'm a part of, there's a division called Fandom where it's basically asking about like Disney animation, Pixar, like Law and Order movies like Bad Boys and stuff like that. It's like I'll show you the categories at a later date, but basically stuff like that. And if I want to do any good, I got to know my Disney animation. So I've been slowly rewatching all of the canon movies. I rewatched Snow White for the first time in years. It was great. And then I rewatched the original Pinocchio, which that movie is really dark, but it's also really good at the same time. I mean, easy to say that funny Jeremiah's here that the remake was a piece of crap. So comparing the two is like there is no comparison. However, the original Pinocchio is just fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You do realize how great that movie is when you watch that.
Yeah, and I'm about halfway through Fantasia, which I have never seen all the way through, and that's such a beautiful movie. It is.
Oh, gorgeous. Yeah, I agree. How fun. I love watching the canon. It's such a fun experience. When you finish, we'll have to have you on for Talking Disney.
For sure. I'd love to be on. I'd love to get with Stanford again.
Yeah, that would be fun. All right. So Kate Cass says, since we're halfway through the year, what is both of your favorite movies of 2023 so far? I did really love Spider-Verse, but my favorite is still Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. I absolutely loved that movie. And I gave it a perfect score, 10 out of 10. I loved the characters. I loved the story. I loved everything about it. It was great. So, and I absolutely loved Spider-Verse. But I do think that it is a little exposition heavy in the middle. So that would just be I gave it a 9 out of 10, where I gave it Are You There, God? Margaret 10 out of 10.
Yeah, my favorite is still John Wick 4, trailing just behind is Across the Spider-Verse, because that movie was just, like I said, it was fantastic. Followed up by Creed 3 and Guardians 3. That's my top 4, followed very closely by Are You There, God? So that's my top 5.
Yeah. So, okay. So Jeremiah's asked the top 10 Christmas movies for me. That's like impossible to answer. Really hard.
We'll be here all evening and I got somewhere.
I mean, if he's talking just Christmas movies in general, it's so hard because you have ones that are more light, like Christmas in Connecticut or Charlie Brown Christmas, which is actually really heartfelt and wonderful. Christmas Story, which is so funny, but also I think really emotional when he beats up that bully. I think that's an underrated, underappreciated scene. I love that scene. There's so many that I love. I love the original Grinch cartoon. Not really that big a fan of the other ones, but I loved Anne and the Apocalypse for something a little more different. I mean, obviously, It's a Wonderful Life is incredible. Miracle on 34th Street, incredible. So those are some of my favorites. I mean, I say Christmas in Connecticut is my favorite because I really think it's sort of the precursor to all these Hallmark Christmas movies is Christmas in Connecticut. A lot of the tropes and a lot of the other things are in there. So I have that on Letterboxd as one of my 5 favorites movies. So that's definitely there. I love Arthur Christmas. That's a favorite, underrated. I don't know. What about you? What's your favorite? Would you say? I love so many different versions of Christmas Carol. I love.
Yeah. I was going to say my favorite is the Christmas Carol starring Alistair Sim from
Yeah,
1951. That movie is just incredible.
it's so
Like
good.
the ending where he says, "Can you forgive him for he was a fool who has had no eyes to see and no ears to hear for so long," just never fails to make me
Yeah.
tear up.
Mhm.
Christmas Vacation is a particular favorite. My
Mhm.
mom and I watch that and Home Alone every year without
Mhm.
fail.
Yeah.
Uh, I
Nightmare
watch,
Before Christmas is great.
yep, I watch Christmas Story with my dad every year. We
Mhm.
both laugh our heads off, especially at the Bumpus Hounds when the old man's like, "Yo, Bumpus, and get these dogs out."
Yeah, so
Yeah,
good.
we just laugh at the dad and be like, "Fragile, it must be Italian."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Really good, really fun stuff. So there's too many. I can't narrow it down. But anyway, that's all my favorites. Long live the Zemeckis.
Yes,
Never mind. I'll behave. I'll take a seat.
sit down.
Sorry,
Sit.
Jeremiah. That movie's terrible. Let's see here.
Marcel the Shell, God,
Watch
that's such a
Marcella
freaking
Show.
good movie, yo.
Oh,
I
yay.
I legit it was one of my favorite movie experiences of last year. I drove out of my way to the theater at Palm Coast because I was the only one playing it. I was freaked out by the Dolby commercial because the Dolby commercial was like it starts out with launching the balls to the doom doom, and I'm like, who's launching? And then the ball and then go to the Dolby, and then it has that creepy the all around you like that. It just is like, well, I'm scared to death for the day. Let's get on with the movie now. And then of course Marcel the Shell was just
Oh,
it. It's so good.
so good. Like a warm blanket. It's
Yeah.
so good. Yeah. If you had to make a bet, would you bet that Wish will be good or bad? If
Mm,
I'm sorry, I would vote against it. I
yeah.
just think it looks really cheesy. And I mean, Ariana DeBose is going to be amazing and her singing is going to be really good. So that's going to elevate it. But the whole idea of like Disney being like, we are the reason that you wish on stars is like so cringe.
No. No, you haven't been that for a long time now. And considering the fact that Elemental has done like nothing to win me over, I'm just like,
Agreed.
it's kind of there. Like I just, I mean, I
Yeah.
could be wrong. I could be totally wrong, but it's just done nothing for me.
Yeah, I mean, I will always be excited and hopeful for a Disney
Sure.
musical, especially. But I'm just not seeing anything particularly special about it. And it just feels like Disney being like, when they really don't need to be doing that right now. They need to be
Like
making some big changes and fixing things, not patting themselves on the back and being like, we're the reason you wish on stars.
it's like you're not like you're in financial trouble right now. Now is not the time to be like, aren't we awesome? We're just
Yeah,
awesome.
we're
No,
the best.
there's a time and a place, and this ain't
Yeah,
the time, and this ain't the place.
no. So Kate Cass says that is very true about Christmas Connecticut being a precursor to Hallmark movies. I never thought of that. It's totally true. And that's the kind of like fake fiance, fake life kind of setup, and it's so funny. It's really good. So
Hmm.
the scene they added in the Alistair Sim version with his sister is one of my favorite scenes in A Christmas Carol ever. Yeah,
That's
it's a
is
really
so
good one.
good. Like one of the final scenes where he tells Bob Cratchit that he's giving him a raise and that to put some more wood on the fire, and then he laughs like his head off. I'm just like,
Yeah, he does the crazy Scrooge really well, really well.
he does. You know,
Yeah.
I'm toying with the idea of like for Chris Mania this year, doing more than one Christmas Carol, like not too many, but maybe like one from like the distant past, like maybe like say like not the George C. Scott one. I did that last year, but like one from the past, and then like say the Guy Ritchie one that was in 2019. But again, that's a work in progress.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
have it mostly set. I know I want to do at least one Christmas Carol. I just don't know which one.
Yeah. It's It's a great story. It stood the test of time for a reason.
Yeah.
So we have a question. So do you have a process for picking Hallmark movies for the channel? Mom and me have different tastes for Hallmark because they have some really fun ones. I love Beyond the Blackboard. So that's an old or an older Hallmark Hall of Fame, I think, Beyond the Blackboard. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking as far as what we cover on the channel. I mean, on Hallmarkies podcast, we cover most of the new releases that Hallmark puts out. And usually we do them in groups. So like we'll cover all the June weddings at the end of June, that kind of a thing. But as far as other ones, like this week, I have a special episode. We're doing a special episode, Recipe for Love. And the reason why we're doing that is because my friend Samantha has a new cookbook out. And so I thought it would be fun to watch it because it's all about writing a cookbook is the movie. So I thought that would be fun. I think it's from 2015, but it's a really good one. And so some of it is just like what I want to talk about. On friendship, it's just kind of what me and Elisa are, feel like talking about every month. This month we're doing Set It Up, which is Netflix, but we already recorded that and that was a lot of fun. It's kind of, and what my co-hosts are interested in, what they want to talk about. Last week they did the carrot cake mystery, the Hannah Swenson. And I actually, this is my secret shame of Hallmark, is I have not watched any of the Murder, She Baked movies. I have not. And so that's why I wasn't on that episode, because I have not watched any of them. Not because I don't want to. It's so hard when you get behind on a franchise, then it feels like, oh, I can never catch up.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason, not because I'm against it or anything, but anyway. But yeah, that's kind of the process as far as Hallmarkies podcast, is what my co-hosts and friends and what they want to talk about. And we try to cover most of the new stuff that Hallmark puts out. So, all right. Has there been a movie that you were not excited about watching for the first time and ended up loving, or vice versa? Well, I wouldn't say loving, that's too strong, but I did like The Little Mermaid way more than I expected. The remake. What's some other ones that I thought looked really bad? I don't know. What do you think, Ryan, on that one?
Let's see. I think the Lego Movie is a good one because, I love Legos. I played with a lot of Legos as a child. So when I heard that announced, I was like, okay, seems a bit odd. And then it turned out to be like just this really good, mega hit that nearly won Best Animated Feature. I'm like, where did this come from?
Oh, I just totally thought of one. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I did not think that was good. I thought, oh, what are they doing? And I ended up absolutely loving that movie. I might even like it better than Spider-Verse. It really spoke to me. I loved the characters. I loved the story. I loved the animation. It was unbelievable to me. And so, yeah, that was a big one. That was such a surprise.
Yeah, like when I first heard that announced, I was like, DreamWorks, you do know the last Shrek anything was 2011, the year of our Lord 2011, when I was in middle school? Or wait, I was just going out of middle school, starting high school, but even still.
That makes me feel very old.
I apologize.
2011, I was 30.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. But that's funny. Okay, let's see here. Jeremiah says, hey, Ryan, what do you think of the first Rocky? Because I saw it and I liked it. I liked wrestling. I liked wrestling. I'm happy.
Rocky's boxing.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
I'm glad you liked the first Rocky because, of course, Rocky's a classic. It's a really good movie. I remember watching it for The Road to Creed 3 and just like, wow, like talk about a movie, because like learning about like how Sly and his family basically had to film that guerrilla style. Like Frank had to do camera work.
Mhm.
Sly's sister had to do camera work. They basically had to like come up with things on the fly. They had no budget, and it turned out to be like the best picture of that year. It won the Oscar for
Yeah,
that year.
literally. The
Like
Oscar for Best Picture. Yeah. If you had to pick though, which would you pick, Creed or Rocky?
the first Creed movie or the first Rocky movie?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good one because I love both. However, I'll go Rocky just barely because the first Creed movie of the trilogy I think is the weakest. It's not a bad movie by any
Hmm.
stretch, but I think Creed 1 was very good, Creed 2 was even better, and I think Creed 3 is the best of the trilogy.
Interesting. I think I would go with Rocky just because I do think that Creed is probably a better made film. Some of those one shots are
Yes.
incredible. It's very well made. And then, but Rocky, I think, is the better script of the two, I would say. Let's see here. Oh, wait. In honor of the last 10 gems, Rachel, I'm going to subscribe to Hallmark and watch a Hallmark movie. I am dead serious. Which one should I watch?
Well, in late 2020, Rachel gave me 5 to watch for the first time.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
true.
recommend Love Locks. That was a pretty good
Yeah,
one,
that's a good one.
starring Jerry O'Connell, where he chains himself to a park bench.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Um, what would I suggest for a total newbie? Um,
Loving Leah.
oh yeah, that's a really good one. I really love one called Trading Christmas. That one's one of my favorites. It's charming rom com. Um, I really loved one called One Last Kiss that from last year. That one was really good. Um, there's one called Two Turtle Doves if you want like a little bit more emotion. That's really good. So you'll have to let me know what you decide. A lot of people love one called The Nine Lives of Christmas. That one's very popular. So yeah, good luck. I have reviews of a lot of different Hallmark movies on the channel, so you can check that out too. Okay.
Jeremiah,
Right,
you're
boxing.
good. You're good.
If you had to create a movie, what would it be about?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's
I've had this I've had this idea in my head for a while to make kind of like a movie about a guy who comes from a long line of police officers. Like his dad's the police chief, and his brother is like a police lieutenant, but he just never got into that life, like for just reasons of he just didn't want to do that, and so he basically works odd jobs to make ends meet in like say a big city like New York or Chicago, but then he stumbles upon like a really important like MacGuffin of some kind, like a code book or like a sack of money or something, which is very important to like
mhm.
a criminal organization, and everybody's looking for this thing, and it's up to him to protect it and get it to the proper authorities because the authorities are pretty corrupt, and something like that. It's very rough, but I've been kicking that idea around in my head for a while now.
So my idea is, and I still want to write this one of these days, so nobody steal it. But my idea is they have in Hallmark, they often have like these different festivals. Like there'll be like a fall festival or a Christmas festival or whatever. And they never have film festivals. And you actually have like film festivals. And I think it would be a fun idea for a rom-com if you had two critics who are both covering a film festival. You can make it a Christmas film festival if you wanted, whatever. And they both kind of they're rivals on each other, different newspapers or whatever. And they don't like each other. They're these rivals, and they are both covering this festival, and they're forced to kind of work together to cover the film festival. And they're both kind of snarky critics, kind of a thing. I think it could be really funny, a fun little rom com.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. I'm not seeing a Hallmark called One Last Kiss. There's there's a Hallmark coming. Just One Kiss. Oh, sorry, you're right. That's it. I got it mixed up. Just One Kiss. It's got Santino Fontana on it. In it, he's really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So there we go. That is your questions. I'll ask one more here in this one's. So what movie have you watched a million times already? Obviously exaggerating, but many times.
Logan Lucky is one, and then Treasure Planet is another, and Brother Bear is another one.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so, well, I mean, a lot of it is probably, I mean, The Little Mermaid, the original Little Mermaid, I've watched so many times because I watched it on repeat growing up. Another one that I watched on repeat growing up was Sound of Music, which is really random. I watched that one over and over and over and over again. Jurassic Park is the one I've seen in theaters the most. And I watched that many, 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 many times, including during the pandemic. I watched it at the drive-in, and that was amazing. As far as a new movie, probably Your Name is the one I've probably seen the most. I've seen it many, many times. But then a lot of rom-coms also I've watched many, many times while you were sleeping. That would be one that I watched. I practically haven't memorized. I know every scene. I think it's such a good movie. So that's some. But there we go. So that is the questions, and that's the big announcement. And I just want to say, Ryan, thank you for everything, and I look forward to working together on other stuff in the future.
Yeah, here's to what we do next.
That's right. That's right. All right. Thanks so much, everybody, and enjoy listening to all those back episodes of Hidden Gems.
Yeah. Also, before we go, I just wanted to give a bit of a plug. Tomorrow night on my channel at RyanCam20 on YouTube, by the way, I'm going to be having a Spider-Verse spoiler discussion. It's going to be a live stream. I'm going to be joined by Ryan from the Real Spective podcast and Matt Wyatt from his channel. It's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be an in-depth spoiler discussion. So if you want to check that out, that will be on my channel. It's going to be Tuesday at 9 o'clock East. So I hope to see you all there.
Great. And you all should also check out, I did a really fun collab with Lee at Drum Dums talking PG-13 horror. So we talked also a lot about being a YouTuber and making content, and we covered a lot of ground. It's a fun stream, so check that out. And so, all right, we'll talk to you all later. Bye.
Bye.